Namaste, Neil the Yogi Bear here. Okay, this is a quick video. This is for anyone that is struggling with food and alcohol during lockdown. You are in good company. Hello. Not so much alcohol, but food I have been struggling with. I've put on a few pounds. I know I'm not on my own. And I need to get this under control. And there's lots of stuff out there at the moment that's telling me, oh, there's this and that. I'm at this risk. I'm at high risk. I'm at all that kind of stuff. And do you know what? None of it's really working for me. I've got to be honest. And I think it's not working for a lot of people. There's a philosopher and an author called Brené Brown who's done an awful lot of work around guilt and shame and why guilt and shame do not enable behaviour change. Actually, they inhibit behaviour change. Because what we generally tend to do when we feel guilt or we feel shame is we go to something that will quickly make us feel better. If someone shames you over your eating habits, what will you do to make yourself feel better instantly? Grab a pizza. It's true. I don't know what it is. It's this weird cognition thing that we have, but guilt and shame do not work. What does work is empathy and non-judgment. And uncovering ourselves and our reasons for doing things from a compassionate place. So have a think. You might be like me. Food has become one of the few things that is different every day. Food is the opportunity for me to get in the kitchen and get creative and cook something nice, and then sitting down and eating it is an event. That's what it's like at the moment, because there's a lot of us out there that haven't really got much else to do. It might be that it's about bringing all your family together. It might be about affordability. Let's be honest, processed food is a lot cheaper than fresh food. So there could be any number of reasons why we're struggling with food and alcohol at the moment. But the first thing I want to do is just say you're not on your own. If any of those things, or whatever any of the other reasons are why you're doing this, you are not on your own. There's a lot of people out there that are struggling. So I was thinking about how we tackle this. I was thinking about how I tackle this. And there are a couple of questions that I asked myself, and I'm going to put those questions to you. The first one is, ascertain if you are happy in the current cycle. And actually, I love being in the kitchen. I love cooking. I like eating. I enjoy food. It's true. Most of my friends are all foodies. We're all kind of in that cycle potentially. We all like food, and therefore we all are at risk in this point. Actually, am I happy? I have finite bursts of pleasure, usually when I'm cooking and when I'm eating. On the whole, am I happy? Am I happy with my weight at the moment? Am I happy with the way I look? No, I'm not. There's the answer. There's the truth. And I'm making an observation with non-judgment, but purely because I have to get my head to the space of, I could say that, a rum and coke makes me happy. I could say that a pizza makes me happy. It doesn't. It gives me a little bit of pleasure. It doesn't make me happy. So that's the first thing. Second question, I need to understand what it is that I get out of it then. Okay, so what is that pleasure? What is it that it does for me? And I need to ask myself those questions non-judgmentally, not from a chastising space, not from a, you're so stupid, why are you doing this? This is bad for you. We all know it's bad for us. We all know it. We don't need to be educated in the dangers of sugar and processed food and excess of anything. We don't need to be educated. We know, and yet we still do it. Bizarre, don't know why. But this is the thing. We need to understand that. We're never going to get anywhere until we can understand from a non-judgmental perspective why we do what we do. What do we get out of it? Is it the family time? Is it the creativity time? Is it the variety? Is it actually that we're stuck in a cycle that we were probably stuck in before we went into lockdown? And we don't even really know why. We're just doing what we always do. Ultimately, until we understand why, we're always going to be in this difficult situation. So we need to ask ourselves non-judgmental questions with curiosity and not judge the answers, just observe and uncover them. Because once I understand those answers, then I can do something about it. And that would take me on to the third thing. If you know what you're getting out of it, if you know where the real pleasure lies, where the real motivation lies, motive, the reason for doing things, if you understand that, you might have a better chance at finding yourself alternatives that are healthier, but that still give you what you need. I'll give you an example. For me, it's about creativity and variety at the moment. Cooking and eating is what makes a day different. But that's a good thing. Uncovering that's great, because actually that's where my head goes to is, well, I can still do that with healthy food. I can just go and buy more fresh fruit, more fresh vegetables, more meat, and get more creative. I can look at different recipes online. I can do some research. I've got the time to do it. I love pottery. I love being in the kitchen. This is great, because if my reason for cooking and eating at the moment is for creativity and variety every day, I can still get that out of making healthier choices. Brilliant. If it's about an event for you or a gathering of the family, brilliant. If you get to the place of actually what I really get out of eating at the moment is meal times, is us all sitting down together and enjoying something together, brilliant. How else can you get that? How else can you get that in a healthy way? That's something that you can think about. Is it about playing games together? Is it about going on a bike ride together, or a walk together, or drawing an assault course on the pavement outside in chalk? Whatever that might be. But that's great. If you know that's the reason, then you can find some alternatives now that still give you what you need without it having to be about making those perhaps choices that are not making you happy. Okay, brilliant. Or if it's that you're stuck in a cycle, that you were on this train before lockdown and you just carry on as normal, but you're not happy. You can see your waistline expanding. You can feel your lungs and your heart and your chest, whatever that might be. You've got the gift of a bit of time here to do some self-reflection, some introspection, to find out what's going on, to lift that lid. And sometimes we don't lift the lid because we're afraid that if we do lift the lid, we'll have to do something about it. And that's what scares us. For me, some of the biggest revelations in my life of when I have lifted the lid just to see what's going on under there. Not because I have to do anything. I don't put any pressure on myself. I don't put any requirements on myself. Sometimes I just need to figure out what's going on and sit with it, and just sit with it and see what happens. But I'd rather know. That's the thing. I'd rather know what's going on under there, so I can give it some thought and give it some reflection in it, and it helped me. So just discover, just lift that lid, find your reasons for what you're getting out of food and alcohol at the moment. And whatever alternatives you put in place, make sure they give you what you need that food and alcohol is currently giving you, because then you won't feel deprived. You'll feel like you're making good choices, but you're still getting your basic needs met. That just what I wanted to talk to you about. So ascertain if you're happy or not with your current life. Truly happy, not just pleasure, but truly happy. Really seek to understand why, what's going on, what are you getting out of it? And once you understand the why, then you can start proposing the right alternatives for you and trying different things out. And if you can't figure it out, just give yourself the time to do it. Bit of food for thought. Namaste.